Okay, welcome
Absolutely.
back to Sports Club. Sorry fans, totally technical issues. And if you were watching and join us, just want to apologize for this. Something that we can't help these days. Technicality is a part of our lifestyle these days. What can we do, right, Rudy?
Technology, technology,
Okay, technologies
technology.
is what can
Do
we do?
forgive
There's
us.
nothing
Yeah, man. Nothing
nothing
we
we
can
can
do
do
about it.
about it at all. Yeah,
But
But
just
anyway,
go back from
we
the
are here.
beginning and start again. But here we are once
Yeah,
more.
we are here.
Thank you for joining us with Sports Pulse on a Monday. Again, forgive us for the little hiccup, but we back live and we're ready to go.
Definitely. We're
Yeah,
definitely ready to go. Sports
yeah.
Pulse Monday live, Trinidad, Jamaica, Caribbean, wherever you are in the world. I want our Canadian fans to understand and to join us. We want to be able to bring you a whole lot of, Caribbean and Canadian perspective of stuff. But tonight we want to dive deep down into some football and that kind of a thing. And that's what we're going to be looking at. But Rudy, a whole heap of other things been happening in the sporting arena, including Noel Lyles getting married to the Jamaican girl. I said somebody put a Jamaican
Yes.
jersey on him, so it looked like him become a Jamaican or an honorary Jamaican or something. But congratulations to them, though.
Certainly, man. You have to
Finally,
give
finally doing the thing.
no, no, you got to take away the sporting part from it. When somebody do something good, you have to give them the credit. They're not in competition no more, so you cannot have that, tug of war going on. They're in a competition no more, so you kind of have to, step aside of some things
Right.
and say, congratulations. And definitely, it's a good thing to get married. It's a good thing to have, a partner and have someone to your side. So definitely,
Yep.
I'm really happy for them and all the best for them. And let the journey begin in their life. So it's good. Really happy to see that.
Yeah. I hear they might have a little one on the way as well, too, eh?
Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Yeah, but it's fantastic. But Rudy, we know the character games has just pretty much concluded.
Yes, yes, yes.
Is there any kind of point standard that you can give us?
It
What it's
certainly
looking
was,
like. I
but
know Jamaica leading already, but
oh no, definitely. But just before we I give you that, I just want to give a big up to my country, Grenada, for stepping up and hosting. It's almost like back to back. Trinidad was the gap in between from them hosting and stepping up and hosting phenomenal games. They have done something that is history because they had a character village where they have the activities and everything going on in that done something that never been done before with some of the medal presentation was taking place at the village. So that was amazing, never been done before to come out from medal presentation from the inside of the stadium to the outside. That was
yeah,
really good.
yeah,
Certainly good to see. So big up to them. The place, the weather wasn't the greatest. On this weekend, this kind of time of the year, you do get a little rain. The rain was a little hiccup, but I was really blessed with the meet. Some great performance, but it's not the time to get into that right now. We just want to say, look at the medal. Jamaica definitely is
way out
has
there.
take over. They almost 20 medals ahead of everyone else, 19 to be exact. Seeing that 15 gold, 16 silver, and 12 bronze. Following them was Trinidad and Tobago with 24. I'm sorry, let me go back again. Jamaica had 43 medals in total.
Yes.
Trinidad had 24, which is 699. And then you have the Bahamas with 17, 6, 7,
Yeah.
and 4. Then Guyana, which certainly was one of the biggest surprise coming up, especially when dealing with the 400. They really step up. They end up with 5 medals because they have more goals based on the standing they had. More
Yeah.
goals. Then it comes down to Barbados with 9 medals, but they only had 2 golds, 2 silver, and 5 bronze. Then we go to the Cayman Islands, had 2 gold medals, um, 2 silver and 2 bronze, a total of 6, which is phenomenal. And
Yeah.
then we see my home country, my land, the Spice of the Caribbean, has 7 medals with 1, 1, and 5. Then you have St. Lucia with 3 medals, one of each. Turks and Caicos, like you see those other smaller islands now start picking up medals. They had a
Yeah.
gold and a silver. Bermuda have a gold and a silver. You have Antigua had a gold and a bronze. Curacao have 2 medals, a gold and a bronze. Martinique, those places never get medals before. Seen them
Yeah.
on the medal pool with 2 medals. French Guyana get a
Mm-hmm.
silver medal, which was really good, and Haiti get a silver medal as well. So definitely we see some new people on the board with medals. We didn't see some of the islands like St. Vincent not being on there, but there was a contender. They had a big team, but certainly it was a good character games, I
Was a
must
good
say.
thing. All
Yeah.
right, fantastic. I hear that Jamaica lost the 4x4, the final event, you know.
Jamaica did
They haven't
lose the
done that
four
in
by four,
years.
and not only lost the 4x4, they lost it with the team breaking the record and breaking the Jamaica record. So suddenly it was Trinidad winning the 4x4 men, which is the youth under 20, and breaking the Kaifta record. So
Yeah,
that is good. That is really good. You know, we always talk about the sprints of the Caribbean, and we do see what Jamaica does. But when it comes to the team, I come to realize when it comes to team sport like the relays,
yeah.
is one person cannot win it, and that's where the other countries coming in and stepping up, because sometimes we look at the one person in Jamaica who is the sprint queen or the sprint king of the Caribbean, but it's just them alone. They cannot win a relay by themselves. So you see the
That's
other islands
that's
may not
pretty,
win in some areas, but they're stepping up in others. So
that's pretty,
definitely you see that happening. Yeah.
that's pretty nice. So, you know, thank you very much for that, Rudy. I appreciate it, and I'm happy to see other countries stepping up and beating Jamaica finally because, of course, as you
Yeah.
say, you know, they're winning by some 20 medals or more all the time. So it's good to see that, and see some smaller nations really, you know, getting into the medals as well. But tonight is big football night, and we, you know, when we're going to talk about the character another night, you know, we definitely just want to zero in on football because it's a big thing. You know, Jamaica, Trinidad, you know, we didn't qualify for the World Cup this time around, and we want to ask the question why? What's wrong? What's wrong with the English speaking Caribbean football? What's going on, right? And we want to see want to hear what is happening. Of course, there are some other announcements this year in terms of coming out of FIFA with, you know, FIFA president and the FIFA board asking, you know, the teams to ensure that they have women on their women football roster. In terms of the coaching staff and the management team, you know, to ensure that there is a woman on it at all times, somewhere thereabout, whether it be the coach, assistant coach, whatever it is, but women must play integral role in terms of preparing the ladies for, especially for the Women's World Cup. And we know Jamaica is on the cusp of qualifying again for that. You know, so but we have some you know illustrious people to help us to see what's going on with the football around the Caribbean, especially in Jamaica and Trinidad. And we're going to be joined by, you know, two fantastic gentlemen, Mr. Vin Blaine, long-time Harbour View man, has been around for many years, been a part of the women's program, the Jamaica women's program for many years. And of course, he has been a part of the senior national team for many years as well. And he's been a big coach, you know, in terms of Jamaica's football overall and in the teaching program. We also have with us Mr. Charlie Edwards. You know, well, when they came on a while ago, they said they are competing compatriots terms of in terms of women football in Jamaica. So they compete hard against each other, and it's good to have both of them here today. You know, to knock the ball out of the park to help us to understand. I want to welcome Charlie. Charlie have been a big part of the national program for women's football as well. He's one of those gentlemen, along with Vin Blaine, that has helped to whatever is the Jamaica football is today. Both of these gentlemen has been a footstool for the growth of where it is today for sure. Because even in their club life, in terms of women football, and into their national life, in terms of Jamaica national program, where the football is concerned. But I want to welcome Charlie and I want to welcome Vin.
Yeah, good to be here, man.
Charlie, I
Certainly.
don't know if you're hearing us.
No, Charlie not hear us, you know.
Yeah,
He
let's
say
see.
Charlie,
his mic.
Charlie, you might be
You
on
hearing
mute.
us now? Yes,
Yeah,
Charlie
He's
good
hearing us
now.
now. Yeah,
Charlie
man.
good.
Welcome.
Definitely, gentlemen. Yeah. Go
Welcome,
ahead.
welcome.
Yeah.
You know, so our big thing this evening that I want to be talking about is, you know, what is hindering, you know, Jamaica's football. Oh, you're not hearing me, Charlie? Charlie, you hearing? Yes, okay. What is in there in Jamaica's football, and from getting above and beyond, just playing in our
Can
Caribbean
you hear me?
territory and that kind of thing. We see 80 qualifying. We see the Spanish country is doing fantastically well. US and Trinidad, no audience, no nothing. Charlie, you want to check if you're on mute? Vin, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, man. Rudy, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, man.
So only Charlie we can't hear at all, at all. Charlie, you want to check if your thing is on mute at all?
Check your settings.
Yeah.
But he's not hearing us, so you wouldn't be able to do that. Charlie, can you hear?
I
All
can
right,
hear
Vin,
you,
make
but
we
I
make we
can't hear
start
the
with
other
you as we.
person.
Yeah, you
Are
see,
you
Charlie can
hear me
hear.
now?
You're hearing Charlie now.
Yeah.
Try say
Uh,
can hear you, but you're not hearing. You're not
yeah,
hearing.
But is here.
he's not hearing
Oh,
Richard. Richard is not hearing you.
oh,
Yeah,
he's not hearing me.
no.
Oh my
Narvin.
I think
God.
it was the same problem before where I could hear you,
You're the
but
same.
I
Yeah, you could
can't
have hear
hear
me.
Richard.
You couldn't
Yeah,
hear Richard. It was the same
yeah.
problem from before as well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I sort that out. Vin, you want to help us to start to understand where and what is going on with Jamaica's football. And I want to ask you, this early question as we try to sort out, all little glitches so that Charlie can hear properly. I know him can't hear, but what is really wrong with football in the English speaking Caribbean? What is really wrong with Jamaica's football? What's wrong? What is wrong?
Well,
On a
I can't
general
speak for the
level.
entire English speaking Caribbean, but leadership is one of the things that really, really um, get us in trouble. And I should say lack of leadership, right? And football and winning in just about not just about it. That is important. And I think that's what's killing us, especially in Jamaica. Well, I've been to Rudy's country. I was there for a few years as a technical director.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that they had problems with the board, right? You have 50% for one person and 50% for the
Yeah.
for the president that I was under, right? And it affected the entire setup for the
Mhm.
serious for the game. When I was there, the girls created history at the under 15 level,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then after they just decided to do their own thing, and the women's program went straight back down to the ground. Right? Same thing in Jamaica now. You have a set of people controlling the football in Jamaica that think it's theirs, right? And they're doing
Mhm.
some things that is contrary to what should be done as far as development is concerned. But before Charlie, before we got disconnected, Charlie mentioned a few things about, development, right? There's no development, right? If you look at the women's team right now, the senior women's team is 90%, just about 90% overseas players. And the ones that are doing well are the ones that develop in our program, national programs through the club programs. I'm talking about the girls now. In Jamaica, at one point we had an under 21 competition, that is second tier. So each Premier League club would have a under 21, and that under 21 program, what it did do is allow players from the high schools, right, Manning Cup and the Costa Cup, to be part of the development. Now you
Yeah.
go straight to Premier League, and the boys are being told that they're good, but there's something I say now: the players develop as to a level where the coaches, accept. So if a coach accept mediocrity, that's what you're going to get out of the program,
Mhm.
right? So I think that leadership, I wouldn't start anywhere else but leadership, right? Leadership is something that, and it showed in this past campaign. Charlie said it already, and I think Rudy might have said it. I'm not sure, but we'll never see an easier pathway than
Yep.
what we saw this year. You can't
Yeah.
ask for anything else. You get out three of the nations that we have to fight. In my days, when we were playing, especially at the girl level, when we were playing, you have to come up against Mexico, right? And USA, Canada, and those three teams were slotted in. And now that they have opened it up, and those three teams are out, and we can't qualify, and had to do with leadership. It had nothing to do with anything else. You had people around the team that should not have been there, right? Coaches that shouldn't have been there. You have people who I've never seen that before. You're bringing a coach from overseas, right? And then you end up having an advisor, and then the advisor decide that he wants to be the head coach. And you and I spoke about this, Richard, in the past, um, in a past podcast where we talk about
Yeah.
Speed is gonna want to take a team from here, from the coach left. Speed is the person, and it's not. It is this that the advisor. If you're an advisor and a team fail, should the advisor be still there? So those are the little things, and I think the president has become a weak president. He's being controlled by Speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Speed. Where on earth you ever hear a coach decide that he is going to stay on, or he's thinking about staying on? I've never heard that. If that was Horace Burrell, right? If that was Captain Burrell,
Yeah.
the entire group would have been gone already. And I can speak to that, Richard. When I was a manager of Simoes.
Finn, I don't want you got here yet, because we're going to definitely go there. But
No,
Charlie,
this will
I can't hear you now, Richard.
What I'm saying,
Okay.
that's why I want to say this.
Can't
go
hear
ahead.
Vin. Can't hear Vin.
Can't hear Vin.
When I was the manager with Simoes, and we went to Honduras, and Simoes somehow played Evan Taylor at 18-year-old in the team, and we lost to Honduras. Captain Burrow didn't wait for the next day, as much as they love Simoes was gone by the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. They get rid of him.
Lost the job.
Now we are in a situation where a man takes the team, right? Hire himself as the chairman of the technical committee, and I don't know who they're fooling, or they had a meeting to decide if Speed should be the head coach. That's a farce. So it comes right down to leadership.
Leadership.
Leadership is a problem. Charlie, you're hearing us? I mean, you hear what Vin had to say?
No, I'm hearing little tones from Vin, but nothing that he's saying continuously. Nothing continuously. Can't make sense of it.
Certainly, Charlie, I asked you the question. Charlie, asked you the question just before we cut off, in terms of what do you think is the failure in terms of Jamaica, and they couldn't qualify for that, and would an opportunity like this ever come up again? What's your view on that?
You have all night to talk? I think before we got cut off the first time, I was talking about it, but there are a lot of fundamental problems within our program. And it's kind of a headache to think about it, because you look at people up in the office who seems to know what they're doing, but can't get it right. So the conclusion is, do they really understand what they're doing? The development program is very much zero. Grassroots program is pretty much zero. They keep talking about it, but I can't see anything going on. Can't hear of anything. We have two of the best in the Caribbean programs that produce so much talent. The Manning Cup, the Da Costa Cup. What happens to the players after that? Nothing much, And then we have so many coaching programs now, and yet still the programs in Jamaica doesn't seem to be getting up there, because when you look at football internationally right now, it's way ahead of the Caribbean programs right now, and there are other Caribbean regions who are developing significantly.
Yeah.
And Jamaica is not going anywhere. We seem to be going backward. It's like we have found a reverse gear instead of a forward gear. And some people may want to knock me over for saying it, but it's the truth. We want to move forward. We have to learn to take the constructive criticism and look at how we're going to change the program, how we're going to progress. If you look at what I had said earlier, it's like we keep working within the same box, expecting a different result. And unless you get out of the box and start to change your mindset, change your program, create a comprehensive development program, a program where coaches, when they come in, they have a program to follow. You have different coaches coming in, and every time a coach comes in, they set their own programs. So it's like you're spinning around and around and around. There's no progression. There's no definite development in a direction. And you sit down and you wonder, where are we going? Yeah. Some of the teams that we used to beat, the 5 and the 6 and the 7, were knocking us out of competitions this year. Yeah. And we have an abundance of talent in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. But we're just not progressing. And I don't want to call it the names. I'm not beating down on anybody. But the truth is that we're not developing.
Yeah. So what I see in Charles is that, like I've been telling Vin, and I've been saying it to Vin, that Vin, you're hearing me, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, good. I heard Charlie.
Yeah, I heard him. Yeah, I heard him.
Okay, fantastic. So what we have been saying, Charlie and Vin, is that 98, we don't want to go back there because Vin tell me that the football had changed. I get it. The football had changed, the whole thing, technology improved, the style of football, all of that has changed. The whole dynamics of football. Even the fans, even how fans view football have changed. The knowledge about football have increased and all of that kind of a thing. But we still can, even when they made it easier for us, we still can't get there. Now we're looking at coach changes, looking at president changes, we're looking at all kind of changes. We have done coaches changes so much times with so much international coaches, right? We have gone overseas and we have invited more international players to the program now than before, right? We have put more money into the sport than we have ever put before. We have done everything that we have never done before, but we still can't get past, even easier opponent that we should get past. And I don't think that is players not wanting to contribute. I don't think that is coaches not wanting to contribute. I don't even think is the president don't want to go to the World Cup. But where is it that we can find the will or the way? What is hindering us from getting to the World Cup? What is happening why we can't get there? Why not?
Can I say something here?
Yes.
It's very interesting what you just said. And you're totally correct. Everybody wants to go to the World Cup.
Yes.
But do you have a plan to tie everybody in together to work to get to the World Cup? Or are we working individuals, different segments working to get to the World Cup? We're not working together. And we have more overseas players now than ever before. But what are the quality of these players?
Mm-hmm.
It's very important.
But is the quality worse than what we did in 98? We had to play against the USA. We had to play up against, of course, Trinidad was always there just the same. We had to play up against Honduras,
Canada.
We had to play up against Canada.
Yeah, and Mexico.
That's the point.
Tougher teams,
but the quality of the players.
We never have so much. We never have even half of Jamaicans. The amount of Jamaicans now playing overseas.
Yeah.
Right? Getting international exposure. Because remember, 98 team was one of their big things that people talk about is because they never have international exposure. That's why we had to get Paul All and, all of them to come and join the team then, because our local guys never have no international exposure. We could understand the reason for bringing in players to add to the thing, to help us with understanding international football at that level. But no, almost all of the team of international experience now. They play at various different levels, around the world. But yet still, we still cannot. So something else is wrong. And that's what I'm trying to get from you guys. What is wrong? What decision making is poor? What is wrong?
But Richie, international exposure don't really make you win football game. one of the things an old principal said in my elementary school days, he said, "Go win matches. It doesn't matter. It's the goal." But we are in a different time now, and I think when you look at other countries who play at home, they don't go outside. They're big enough to have their own league. They had better experience and they play better because the whole team is there. Now a lot of these guys them don't play with each other, so they don't know how to play with each other. Is that an issue with teams, especially a team like Jamaica, but they don't have the opportunity to train with each other and play with each other to understand each other? Is that could be one of the issues?
That let me tell you. Let me jump in here. Um, I'm sorry, Charlie can't hear me because I know he can't hear me. I don't know why. But you see, team, you see, team structure, right? Selection of teams, and the players that you want in. We talk about 98. Remember 98? These guys eat bun and cheese and go to training, In that like now, where them going to top hotels and they're getting paid and they're getting per diem and they get all that. When Simoes came in, Simoes looked at the local team. He didn't invite anybody to play. The guys came by themselves, right? The players that came to join the 98 team invited themselves and made the team. But the nucleus of the team was local based players from the lower level teams, right? So you must understand that my experience with national program is that I'll go back to Rudy's country again. I remember when I was there when the national coach could not be at a game. We're playing Guyana. It's Guyana, not the Guyana. What the country it was again? Yeah, it might have been Guyana, and they brought in. They had about only three local players from their country playing, and the rest of them were overseas based players. I took the team, all local based. I think I might have had maybe two overseas players on the team, and the president was adamant that they were going to get really covered, and we won the game 1-0
Yeah.
against English based players for the country, right? But the youngsters wanted to play. I didn't follow the coach. I mean the president. I was willing to front. I said to him, if we have local based players and we are having a practice game, if we cannot expose our local players to that level of game, then it's useless. But I'm not saying we should pick all local players, no. But I think what happened to this last campaign was from before what is his name? I don't even remember his name, right? But McLaren,
Steve McLaren.
Steve, yeah.
he was being led by people around him.
Yeah.
He didn't know the players.
Yeah.
He came in. He didn't know the culture of Jamaica. If he knew the culture of Jamaica, what happens when Jamaica play at Trinidad and Tobago, for instance?
Yeah.
That is like Manchester United playing Manchester United for Derby, right? But I don't think, and the people around him can help him.
Yeah.
And the
Charlie,
players
let me ask you. Charlie, let
were
me ask you.
in
Let me
different.
ask you. Yeah, Charlie, let me ask you a quick question. I hear a lot about the development that is needed. It is time for a complete reset in everything, and then maybe start again. Maybe put things together. You think that's what really needed in football in the English Caribbean speaking countries?
I believe so. A complete reset and a program that can attack the weak areas because the football keeps evolving. The modern football is completely different from what you're seeing in the Caribbean right now. So if we're going to compete with the rest of the world and we want to go to the World Cup, our football has to evolve significantly, and a complete reset right now would be good. Very important factor.
It can't
Richie,
just
go ahead.
be. It can't just be. It can't just be. And the problem that I have in Charlie and Vin is that it cannot just be coach. And let me say it again because I see somebody saying here that the coach is trash. But hey, listen, I not even want to go there because I think the culture of football that we always speak about has never been tapped into in Jamaica. And I think Trinidad is having the same kind of problem as well. The countries that do well in football, they kind of tap into a culture, right? And I know both of you as coaches, when you're coaching your teams, you want the players to tap into the culture and the philosophy of what you're trying to, teach them. Because as coaches, you're teachers, really. Yeah. But we're not teaching football in Jamaica, and especially with the senior players. Vince said that every player think that him is a star already, right? And is something that I think that it is wrong with Jamaica, and it is wrong with the English speaking Caribbean football. We just think that we don't tap into cultures, we don't tap into a belief, we don't tap into the 98 team had a culture and a belief,
Yeah.
They had a culture and they had a belief. I
Yeah.
don't even think René Simoes is the greatest coach. What I think is the greatest philosopher. Him even got the fans, just to show you how seriously the culture of the thing was important to the man. He even got us as fans to jump onto the bandwagon and let us. He would write in the newspaper for our whole page just to explain exactly what he wanted to come across and what he wanted us to do. René Simoes was the only coach that came to Jamaica that get everybody to wear a yellow shirt. Come out and support your team. The man even getting us to believe in Christianity. That's also deep the culture went. Jesus saves. The man believed every single thing about it. And I don't think that we got that message to date. That is not just about coaching because, as I said, all of the players that we have on the pitch, anywhere you want to take them from, they can play good football.
Yeah.
It's like I tell you, all of them
It's a
can play
fact.
good
It's a
football.
fact.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
But
fact.
what they don't have, you coaches can tell me if I'm wrong. We don't have a culture. We have never. The one time we built a culture is when we went to the World Cup, and we had to be playing up against bigger team that have been playing together. Yes, Vin. I know Simoes had the team for 2-3 years, but he built a culture with that local group of guys, and then he brought in the international guys to add a little more experience to the culture. And they too, when they came, when Paul Hall and Dean Burton and all of them came, they came into the culture. They had to be a part of a cultural belief that René Simoes got. He got Horace Burrell, he got Eugene Blaine, he got all of us, he got even the Prime Minister at the time, PJ Patterson, to believe in the culture and put the money behind the culture too. Right? We started getting companies to sponsor players. That's how deep the culture went then. So, I need you guys to tell me something that is different than what we're not doing. Is it that we're just not believing in the culture?
But
Do we have a
remember,
culture? Can take over
remember,
Vin.
yeah, Richard,
Yeah.
right? You must remember that when Simoes came in, there was nothing like that in Jamaica, right? We had a program way back, but we were coming up against like Haiti. Remember in the early Haiti gave us 6 love,
Yeah.
right? And the same thing happened to Haiti. The leadership fall down and the team fall down too.
Yeah.
We can't. Simoes brought in something and a belief, and that's where the culture came. It's not a culture, it's a belief.
Hold on one second,
Everybody
Vin.
believe.
I just want to hear Charlie even getting anything that you're saying any at all. Charlie, it's no
No, you're not
No,
getting it. Yeah.
you're not yet.
I've not
No,
heard Vin from he started, and it's
From he
unfortunate
started.
because I wanted to hear and continue with his
yeah.
words too.
I don't
But
know
you
what's
can
going on.
repeat between
But if
some of
this
the
is
things
how
that
you're
might.
getting it, we just have to live with it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
let's keep going. Yeah.
We can't spoil
Yeah,
it.
so I'm
We have
saying that
listeners out there.
you're talking about this particular team. Let's talk about this particular year, right? Because we can fix it. It's not a quick fix. It has to do with the leadership around the team, and it has to do with people around the team, right? I just think that the game against DR Congo, right? You see, I think it's bad management on the day of the team. players substitute. When you look at this coaching staff, they were lost. If you look at the coaching staff, they were lost. When you look at DR Congo, when they have the water break, all the team with the coach talking. When you got Jamaica's team, the three coaches talking, but nobody talking to the players. The players talking to themselves. Right? So there was bad management around the team. You bring in a player that plays right back for Inter Miami. He's never a central midfielder. Not he's never a central midfielder. And McLaren did the same thing, and this coach did the same thing. And he was the advisor for McLaren at the time. So why shouldn't I believe that they are the one that influenced this man to play these people out of position? You bring on Cephas. He's never played his back goal. Anybody who play football and play centre forward or play on the wing, you put them in the middle, and they can't play with their back to goal.
Yeah, they can't.
You understand me?
So true.
Put on Cephas.
Yeah.
Why would they play? Contrary to what a lot of people say, I believe our first half in the game wasn't that bad. I think Liam Bailey gave enough, but you can see even Stevie Wonder could see that he was hurt. He was struggling. So you take him off. You should never let him play 120 minutes, and you have Cephas on the bench. Cephas is the only person that cut on the wing and make it like we could have scored a goal. Right? Liam Bailey get a shot in that was little off, but I think he did enough. Right? So why would you keep him on the pitch for 120 minutes when you have Cephas who can come on and give you that spark? Right? The left side of Congo team was the weakest left back. Was the weakest part of the team, right? But you keep the people on the bench. You bring on Frey, right? Frey is not a central midfielder. He never created anything that you can say he caused a goal. But you have to play the players that you have in the positions that they can perform in. I think so. Apart from that, the development of the program in Jamaica is that it has somebody has to just I think you have to just wipe out what you have and start over. And you cannot go in with the same people. You have chairman of a technical committee becoming the advisor, then becoming the head coach, and still not saying let us resign. The president promised that he would resign if he didn't make it to the World Cup. Then he comes back after the World Cup and say he's not resigning. Right? So what the hell?
Yes. No, certainly, and we when it come to the football, we see a change in FIFA. There is 48 teams now, and I know the CONCACAF is probably 5 teams that probably will make it in. Do we see a English speaking team in the next World Cup making it through? In terms of English speaking Caribbean team making it through, even with 48 teams now for the World Cup?
A good question. That's a good question.
Yeah, but Charlie, it can't be that we just keep playing the same football, or we keep changing the same coach, or we keep having the same president, or we keep doing the same things. What it is going to take for us to make the change? Because Vin, you're saying that the coach selection. So we have a coach, and we have a technical committee chair that is driving that coach, right? So it's literally the technical committee is the coach, and that's what you say. Now, is it that? Well, you already said the president is weak because he's not making the choices, but the president will tell you that he's not the one who is making the choices in terms of employing a coach. Is the technical committee is the body of the JFF that's supposed to be reviewing and then saying to the president, this is what we think of this individual or these 2 individuals. And then the president, he makes the decision all by himself? How does he make that decision? Yeah. Because what you're saying,
Richard,
is that we have some personnel problem where we're not moving forward.
Richard, remember, I grew up in the system, and yes. I saw what a strong president did. right? People don't know outside, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
but Captain Burrell had a lot to do with when Captain Burrell hired Schaefer. Nobody knew. I was the assistant coach. I never know till the day when he announced the man as the head coach.
Yes.
Yes, Schaefer was there for at least 2 weeks before it was a press conference, and I only knew that I'm the head assistant coach the day of the press conference, right? Because that's Burrell's style, right? People might not like him, but that's his style. I'm saying to you that when the chairman of the technical committee, right, can decide that I don't care what anybody want to tell me. Speed decided that he's going to be the head coach. I told you, Richard,
Yeah.
months ago that he's going to be the head coach,
Yes.
right? And it's nothing that hidden. Anybody know this around the football that's happening in JFF? Is that's going to happen?
So
You're the chairman technical committee, then you're the advisor for a team that lose, right? And then you come back as the head coach of the team, and you never make it to the World Cup,
it's
right?
not a it's not a it's not
Where
a
does it lie?
so where it is, is not speed is not the problem, because every human being will try to push themselves where they want to go. But what
Exactly. So
about
who
speed,
comes back
boss?
to them, Richard? Who does it
The
come back to?
president and the
Okay, all right. Here you
board
go.
and all of them.
There
What
you
happened?
go.
What you see, Charlie, and I go back to the whole thing, because Vin is saying that why speed manipulate the whole thing. I get it. Speed manipulate the whole thing because we have a weak president. So the president is the problem, because the president can't run the ship. When we had Burrell run the ship. Nobody him take your advice, but he made the decision on him own. Right?
Correct.
And it worked then. For a while at least. We got to the World Cup during that time. But why can't we not then? Because if you're running a business, Charlie, you have the chairman, and you have the managing directors, and you have the managers, and you have the supervisors. You have a board. The board make a decision, and it filters all the way down to the supervisors, all the way down to the workers. Right? They make a decision. But what it seems to me is that what you're saying, Vin, is that we're making selection, and I'm going to go back to my substantive point. Is because we don't have a belief, we don't have a culture in terms of what we even want as a coach. We don't know what we want as a coach, because we're just picking up anything and say this will fit our situation in Jamaica. Anything at all, we just pick up and we put, and we say, we just look at a resume and say, boy, it fit. It doesn't. When René Simoes was coming, Vin, you might can tell us better, When René Simoes was coming, I don't think people thought that he was even a good fit, because people was looking at documentation and see whether or not he had history. Because I don't think he had history on his side when he came. René Simoes had nothing other than just the fact that there was a belief, and Captain Burrell believed in him for some reason or the other.
But the important thing is the players believed in him.
He got all of us, Vin.
That's the important thing.
He got all of us believing
Yeah, but
in him.
we can believe in him, but the players had nothing to believe in the system that he brought in.
Yeah.
He didn't come with any special formation or anything like that. He came with that thing that if you're around Simoes, you see, discipline. He doesn't even have to tell the players anything, The discipline is there.
Yes.
Right?
Hey, Vin, remember Simoes scored us as fans, Remember Simoes writing newspapers,
but you must understand. You have to understand,
Richard,
that
that's how serious the discipline was.
No, you have to understand that the thing has shifted, right? Because the game has developed, as you say, the game has developed, and we don't have that same heart that the players had playing for no money, really. Nobody coming from FIFA, from a club to come in. So that's a different scenario. I am saying that over the years we have grown, right? First thing, 1998, yes, we qualified, and we qualified with less amount of teams that can qualify.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are open up now, and everybody believes that. The president says he knows we're going to qualify. right? That's what he said, right? And I'm saying to you that we have to now sit back and look what is the reason why we can't be. You said it. I see Jamaica play St. Vincent. 5 years ago, St. Vincent, 10-0. You understand? Now you take a team. Now you take a team. I'm sorry, Charlie, not hearing. But now you take a team, right, to prepare for the World Cup. We played 2 games to prepare for this World Cup.
Yes.
World Cup. We played Grenada. No disrespect to Rudy, right? Because
No, for sure.
you're gonna play Grenada with a local team and beat Grenada. Right? Grenada have some players on there that have been there from I was there. Right? So I'm saying that what is that? What was the purpose of playing that team? And none of those players were representing Jamaica. Absolutely none of those players can represent Jamaica. And then you come up with this criteria to make a team. Right? What kind of criteria that is? The man that is. I mean, look at Whisper.
But Vin,
look at Whisper.
Yeah.
Whisper playing in a big club. Whisper training better than any other team out here in Jamaica. So I don't care if Whisper don't play 1 and 2 games for his club. The environment that Whisper is in now is better than somebody that play for Montego Bay United, Harbourview, Trench, everywhere. Right? And you going to talk about because he's not playing.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Charlie, I want you to jump in. I'm sorry you're not hearing Vin at all.
Well, tell him what I said.
Live.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're not hearing, but Vin is definitely talking about, the selection and the selection, the whole, speed come about selecting the team and the criteria that he came with in terms of selecting the team, that he had, a list of things that he said you have to meet these criteria to be selected to the team. And, there are some players who, like Whisper, who he thought would have been eligible. But because Whisper never played too much for his new team that he had transferred over to recently, made him not meet the eligibility based on the criteria that Speed had set out to, for the team. But the thing that I wanted to get though is, how do we employ a coach for Jamaica? And that's really what I want to get down to, Vin, because it's how we employ, because it's not just coach alone. That's to do with the whole administration. How do we employ people for the job? Charlie, what's your take on it?
First of all, if you go back to 98 or prior to 98 with Captain Burrell came in with a vision, a drive, a mission. He had a pathway set out. This is where we are going. And what he did was, acquire coaches or a technical staff to work with him who could buy into what he was doing.
Yes.
And if you were not buying into it, you would not be a part of his program. And this is where a strong leadership comes in. It's very important, because what the president and his board needs to sit down and do is look at what they want to do, where they want to go, set that pathway, and then you get a coach who can fit into your system. If you get the best coach right now in the world and he comes here, and you don't have a system in place of where you want to go, what you want to do, and no blueprint, no nothing, he's going to fail also. Let's be realistic. You're putting the man out there in a ship without a rudder.
I tell you this, Charlie. I can remember when Captain Burrell took over the JFF. We never had an office. You remember those days?
Oh, yes.
JFF never had when I say we never have a home for ourselves.
Exactly. He's the one who acquired the building.
He's the one that bought that building.
Yes.
He believed that we could have done it.
And he had a lot of opposition.
Before we qualified for World Cup, but he believed, as you said, that we could do it. And that's what I'm saying. There is a philosophy that is coming and it's driving somebody to drive the rest of the thing. But at the top of the thing right now, there's no philosophy, there's no driving thing. So it doesn't matter how much persons get certification, coaching certification.
Makes no difference. Makes no difference.
It makes no difference because there's nothing driving anything.
I tell you something. Call the JFF tomorrow and ask them if they have a blueprint going forward. No.
And that's why we say we gotta.
From the president came in, Journalists have been asking for a blueprint for the football going forward. We have not heard
None.
anything, seen anything. And this is what I'm saying. Doesn't matter who you get to come in and coach a team. And worse without Spiel and what you just mentioned a while ago. You have no training time. You're only going to see the guys a day or two before the game. And you went and you changed up the squad. So whatever little cohesiveness that you had that you could have built on, because you were working around the team. You were a part of the team. You were advisor. And Tarek further back, he's the one who employed the coaches.
Yes.
And they played his style of football. So when you take them out and you put him in, what was going to change? Rudolph's spam style of football is more along football.
You see the same sentiments.
That's one of the easiest things to defend right now. You just have to get numbers behind the direction of the ball. Look at the modern football now. People are opening you up and try to create corridors and go through you. Or they come pull you back and then they counter you quickly. We need to have a philosophy. We need to have a direction. We need to have a pathway where we're going to work to go towards something.
We need to have a driver for the philosophy.
Definitely.
Have a driver for the philosophy.
Definitely.
It
But our
doesn't matter
football
how much money you
is
get the
suffering.
chairman of the board, you know. If the chairman has no philosophy at all, he will never drive the board at all. I just think that there's nothing there driving the football in Jamaica. Nothing at all.
None.
Driving the football in Jamaica.
Our football is going to suffer as long as we continue like this.
Going to suffer.
There needs to be changes.
There has to
Charlie, I
be.
say, it is
Charlie,
suffering.
Vince say it is suffering.
Who is suffering?
Vincent football is suffering.
It's suffering,
Definitely.
It's suffering. Because
this World Cup campaign was evidence of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went to the stadium one day because I couldn't believe what I was seeing on the TV. And I went to the stadium and I saw the same thing. And I was so frustrated. There are so many static players out on the field. My midfield was standing up waiting for the ball to get to them.
Yeah.
So outdated, so backward.
No Peter Cargill.
And funny enough, you know, I had done a workshop with McLaurin in the US, the NSCAA convention. And he did a session that was absolutely brilliant in terms of building a midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And when they said he was coming, he had no track record that was successful, mind it. But I'm like, you know, okay, I've seen him done this. Let's see if he can transition this into our program. And his midfield was one of the worst playing midfields I've ever seen in Jamaica. And I couldn't put the two together. I just couldn't understand it. But they say that some people are good in classroom, but maybe not good on the field. So I don't know.
True. So true. So Vin, what we need to do? What do we need to do? Because we're going to fire everybody. We're going to do all of the
No, well, eventually the president
we're still not going to be doing the thing that can get us to.
Eventually, the president is done. The president is on his last hurrah. Not because they're going to run him, because he's only allowed 3 terms. I think he's in that term now. But what the chairman of the technical committee, if you know how that operates, the technical committee, some people are the chairman himself is making it seem as if he runs everything. Right? He chairs everything. He chairs the committee. You must remember the technical chairman chairs the committee. He doesn't make all the decisions. It's a committee of people who they discuss, right? And they recommend to the federation what they discussed. Yeah. I hear talk about what him do for women's football. In do anything for women's football, I'm a Charlie do. And I do. You understand me? Yeah. So it is a matter of how we approach the conversation, how we're gonna hire a coach, right? With all with the technical chairperson saying the president can override. If he say he wants Charlie to be the head coach at the
he's the chairman of the board. He's the chairman of the board.
He's chairman of the board. He's not the chairman of the board.
What I'm saying, you know,
he might be
he's the
acting
man
like that.
running the thing.
No,
he's
he might be acting like that. No, but he's not. The chairman of the technical committee doesn't have to be anybody who is a coach. You have MAs, in Grenada. The chairman of the technical committee was the president. He played football,
Yeah.
so he knew the game, right? So it doesn't have to be someone who is actively a coach. You can select anyone to be the chairman of the technical committee. Yes, he has to have some technical knowledge. It is preferred, but on the committee doesn't mean that you have to have all coaches. The president can be there as the vice president and vice chairman of the committee. I'm saying that we need to sit down and analyze our situation, right? The type of coach that would fit the program, right?
Yeah.
Because even who hired McLaren? Answer that, Richard. Who?
Vin, it's the same people am I McLaren, you know. What I'm trying to get from
All
you,
right.
Charlie, what I'm trying to get from you and Charlie today is my substantive comment, my substantive question. How is it, or what it's going to take us to employ good leadership for the JFF? What is it going to take for us to get good, strong leadership? Because one, so for me, coaches that have success in this world, you know, is coaches with a philosophy. My friend from Liverpool just leave and Liverpool mash up. Yeah. My friend from Liverpool take Liverpool from nowhere to win the Premiership, to win every single cup that was there, Champions League, everything. That coach came with a, you see what I'm saying, Vin?
Yeah,
Come with a philosophy. He had a leadership skill. He had a leadership style that made all of those players that wasn't successful became successful. Now it's the same thing with the JFF, because if you just go, as I said, if you're just going to hire McLaren because in resume says that he has a A1 certification, whatever they call it, and that's why they employ him based on that fact. But Jamaica football, you know, let me tell you, Jamaica sports. If you look at track and field right now, track and field is having the success that it has because there's two people in our track and field system that build a philosophy. Steve Francis and Glenn Mills.
Yeah, but that's an individual sport. Those are individual sport. Those are individual sports.
But what I'm saying, Vin, whether or not it's individual sports or just single, is who leading the thing and what they believe in.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's different. Richard, let me tell you why I say it's different. You have to know to manage a squad first, so you can bring in players. But if look at the game, I'm going to go to the Congo game. Nobody was talking to Speed. Speed was talking to the two coaches. Speed was talking to his fitness trainer. No, you look at his face; he was lost. Yeah. Speed was absolutely lost in the game. There was no direction coming from him that I saw, and I use the water break because we as coaches use the water break to give some instructions because of what you saw for the first 15-20 minutes before the water break, and I never saw any of them talking to the players.
Yeah,
because they were talking to themselves. That's what I saw. I don't know if you guys saw anything different, but that's what
we see the whole thing, Vin. We see the whole thing. But what I'm saying is that we could be here talking until tomorrow come, right? Whether Speed, whether McLaren, whoever. What I'm saying is that who is going to take that mantle to do the same thing that Burrell, to have the same, testicles that Burrell had when he started this program, right? He got everybody believing in it so much so that he could have buy a big building inside New Kingston. So he went out and he got somebody who everybody never believed that was going to even be successful. But he saw something that nobody else saw. It wasn't just about coaching technically. It was about getting a nation together. Right? But I don't see this kind of a leadership in the football at all in Jamaica. I'm just saying what it is going to take for us to sit down and understand that every single man who says he's a coach in Jamaica have some kind of paperwork or some kind of experience or some kind of something can contribute to the football. But who is that person that is going to can take 11, 20, 22 players or 23 players, bring them together and let them believe one thing? Right? Remember now, I can tell you something that always impressed me about Sim West, Vin and Charlie. is that I remember when Ricardo Gardner was supposed to be, and you supposed to know even more because we just hearing. When Ricardo Gardner got the opportunity to go to England to play, the whole of Jamaica was saying, what is this man doing with this youngster? You have to send him out there. He need to continue medication. There's one most important thing, and I can tell you this is persons who have philosophy and who know what they're doing. Him look at the entire nation. The man writing the newspaper, as I say, you know, because he was constantly writing to the fans. Him writing the newspaper, and he said, him can only play football one time in his life, but him education, him can get that anytime at all he wants. No, that is somebody who is not about having a certificate to say, I am a coach. It's somebody who can look at people and see vision and see beyond 10 years down the road. Now, Ricardo Gardner is who he is today. Easily. But Jamaica, we don't seem to be able to sit down and find that. Whether it is going to take the Minister of Sports to sit down with the people. Because everybody everybody wants to be the president of this and want to be the president of that thing.
Listen, man.
Jamaica. And it is so passionate for me. I can't talk with a whole passion. Them write 10 things that they said they're going to do every single year, all of them election. And them say it is achievable. But ask each and every one of them, how much of that 10-point thing that them present, that they really, truly believe is possible.
Is it that their 10-point thing is just to win the election?
But that's all it is, Charlie.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is every year.
But you've been...
It was about winning the election and that's it.
You've been asking a question and answering it yourself, though, you know. You've been asking who is going to all these things. And it needs somebody with that headspace, that mentality. A man who is a winner, a man who can set the program right and go for it, a man who knows who he wants to coach the team to go there. And that is where we're lacking. But if you look at sports in the Caribbean, we rely so much on talent. Talent is so overrated in the Caribbean.
True.
And we're not getting the mental side of it. You can take several players from the Caribbean right now and send them to England, and they will maybe fit into any team talent-wise. But ask them to stay in a game plan for 20 minutes. Just tactically stay in a game for 20 minutes. And they're lost. It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
There are so many, it's 10% talent, 90% mental. There are so many criteria outside of talent that we are not getting right. You call a training session in Jamaica, 4:00 session, sometimes 4:30 before your team is there. You go to a first world country and you call a 4:00 session.
Yes.
3:30, all the players are there dressed and ready. The discipline level is totally different. The respect for each other is totally different. How many times have you seen teams in Jamaica? And I mean, people might be upset, but the truth is the truth. Where players are actually in fight on the field, or after they finish is draping up each other and stupidness like that. How do we progress with these sort of systems? We need coaches who are strong enough to take charge on the field, create an environment. All those players that you were saying who came down for Simoes and they got the vision or whatever it was, the environment was set. You had no choice but to fit in and just keep moving with the program.
Yes.
If not, Simoes, and I know him, I've worked around him, Vinaz's worked around him too, he would put you on a flight and send you back home. You're not a part of his system. So the environment has to be set, and that has to be set from the top. The president, the board, they need to have a retreat where they can sit down and say, well, gentle people, this is where we want to go. 2030, we want to be in the World Cup. Let's go 5 years back and look at what we need to do. Start put the pieces together. Start to get the coach that can fit into the culture and work with the players, a coach who is strong enough, because a strong coach is important. Our Jamaican players are strong players. They will rough you up as a coach if you're not careful.
Yeah.
And I've seen it over and over. So you need a strong coach, and you need a coach who comes with a program and a very unbiased program. Just like Simoes, because Simoes picked up Baby Gardner as a 17-year-old, and he got a lot of opposition to that. Where is Baby Gardner today?
Yes.
He's an iconic figure for Jamaica football. The man had a vision. He saw what he wanted to see in Baby Garden as a 17-year-old. And you have coaches like that. But because they have a vision, they have a program in mind, they know what they want, they know where they're going. So look at Sir Alex Ferguson. Sometimes Alex Ferguson would bring in a player, and people will be questioning, where him getting a player there from? Because when you look at that player in the league before, he was basically nothing much, nothing. But he fitted into his system. That player enhances his system. We need coaches who can coach from the headspace down.
Exactly.
Coaches who are not worshiping talent, but looking at a complete package.
Yes, that's definitely where
but Richie, let me ask this question. Is this a cultural thing across the Caribbean? Is that the issue that we have in globally? And not only in football, yes, we speak in football, but we see the same thing in cricket too. And if you go back in the time with cricket when we were dominating, because it was less about the money. It was a culture. You know, when the guys play together, it was a togetherness compared to today. We don't see the same thing. So across the Caribbean, remember, Trinidad made it through. Like, look how long it takes. We have two countries that ever make it to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Two in the whole Caribbean. What is the problem?
Trinidad and Jamaica should have been frontline runners to go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Reality.
A lot of times people always say, why Japan is at the World Cup and why Croatia is at the World Cup. Those are two teams that we played in the World Cup.
As their first time too.
Yeah. Right? A lot of people tell me that they have money. Yeah. But honestly, I don't think it's the money.
Money plays an important factor.
Money is important part.
But there's an attitude.
Before you have
there's an attitude.
You have to have that. You have to have the vision. You have to have somebody that is driving that.
Right. The money enhances
never have the
that.
money when he came to Jamaica. You know, it's kind of sad that I have to go back to him all the time. He never had the money. He made Burrell believe that he could go to the corporate entities and get money from them. You know, I remember those days. He made Burrell believe that he could have gone to Burger King, could have gone to KFC and said to them, hey, listen, we need money. We need money for Walter Boyd. We need money for this guy. I remember those days when he made Burrell went and do stuff that Burrell wouldn't even never have done.
Let me tell you something. Vin and I have worked around him. He's a very confident fellow. He's a man who makes you believe. He's a man who makes the government wants to support the football. He makes corporate wants to support the football.
Yeah.
He's like that. And it's a pleasure working around him. He treats you good. He adds value to you.
I remember, Charlie, because he went with Burrell to go say, I think it was Porsche at the time or Bobsy at the time. He went to those meetings.
Yes.
He went on foot with Burrell to those meetings. He never missed those opportunities to speak to those heads of government, to meet with those heads of corporation. He never missed the opportunity to let them believe and sell it to them and maintain a discipline, because you know that was the hallmark of Jamaica football. Jamaica football had a certain amount. As a matter of fact, it's almost like when you come to the thing named the office after a while. Because when you come to Jamaica to play Jamaica, Burrell made every single player believe that nobody not supposed to beat you. Period. Nobody not supposed to do that. He made that clear when you come to the office. That's how the belief went back then.
Let me tell you something. I have a memory I have a memory that I'll never forget. After that last game at the stadium, you remember where the deck was, where TGIF is now?
Yes.
The road was blocked there for hours. It was just jammed up with people and the horns and the music and the celebration. That was right in front of King's House.
Yes.
And I'm yet to see anything remotely close to that again. That was one of the greatest feelings I've ever had in sports in this country. And that was a creation of Renee Simmons.
Even when the great Messi came, that still never happened.
Not for me. Messi was just a game. I didn't even go to the stadium because I knew it was going to be crazy. But I've seen Messi played several times before.
Yeah.
In his prime with Barcelona. So I didn't need to see that game. But that feeling, though, as a national pride, going to the World Cup was a fantastic feeling.
It was a fantastic feat.
Yeah, and I'm yet to see it, and I pray I'll see it before I die.
Yeah, Vin, give us
Yeah.
your last take on things. How we
Well,
can turn around.
I
How
wanna
we can
go back
turn
to-
around. How we can turn around Jamaica football.
I'm going
How
to
can
go
we?
to where I started, leadership. I've been there with Captain Burrell, Horace Reed as a general secretary, right? Secretary, right? And that was leadership, right? When Captain fall down, the relationship that he had with Horace Reed is Horace Reed not afraid to tell the captain that he's doing something wrong, and there was respect in that hierarchy,
Yes.
right? So the office was run like an office.
Mhm.
The selection process was done in an orderly manner, right? The parish association presidents respected Horace Reed
Leadership. Mhm.
and respected Captain Burrell, right? So when they discuss in meetings, when we are in a meeting to discuss leadership, remember I also managed Tapa, when he
Yeah.
was coach, and I also managed what's his name again, from England, that was there. It killed me if you think I forget his name, right? But you must understand that leadership is what it needs right now. Strong leadership that can say, okay, this is where we're gonna go, right? We're gonna hire a coach. We can interview coaches. Let me tell you something about Jamaica. You have coaches around the world that love to get the job to coach Jamaica.
Yep.
Let me tell you,
I don't think anything wrong with the team. I don't think
Jamaica.
anything wrong
No,
with the
I
players.
don't think so. Let me tell you, as I said, bad management of the team on the night caused us to lose the game. Right? The substitutions were quick and fast. The team just substitution like you're playing. It reminds me of these high school games in the US where you're just throwing substitutes without anything. There was no consideration, as that's not the word I want to use, but it can substitute it right now. The substitutions were poor, right? I'm speaking to it, and so for that aside, the leadership, right? The president, if he's gonna be there, need to stand up and be accountable of allowing Speed to coach the team, right? If you look at the coaching staff on the day, you have Andrew Peart, you have Speed and Coley, right? None of them as managed a team up at that level, and it showed. Even when even when you look at their features and their face, they were blank. It was blank.
Mhm.
I know I'll get, and they probably hear it. I don't care if they want to hear it and get back at me. It doesn't matter to me, right? But it is true.
Yes.
I just think they were out of their in that, you know,
Zone.
the level. That's what I believe, and we have to get good leadership at the top. I don't know the respect that I hear it through the grapevine. A lot of the presidents that don't agree with Speed being there and don't agree with the president, they feel that the president is being bullied, right? That's what I'm hearing on the ground. Right?
Hey, you're a fan saying is too much politics in the thing.
Yeah.
The fans are saying it's too much politics, as you're saying, Vin.
Listen,
too much politics playing out in the football.
That is true. And it doesn't fit that you have a chairman of a technical committee, then becomes the advisor, then becomes the coach, and still sitting in a chair that he can be a part of the JFF.
But your leadership not restraining, not doing anything about it. I guess the leadership
No,
believe
that's
in.
what I'm saying. It's poor leadership from day one, right? If you get rid of McLaren, right, and you don't get rid of the advisor, so the advisor is saying that McLaren never follow his advice. I don't know. I think that we have to now sit back
But
and
Vin,
say,
why would an individual as McLaren, a qualified, experienced coach as McLaren, would come to a country like Jamaica and he would be taking instructions? I'd want to think that, the level to which he operates is somebody who would be giving instructions because he's at a higher level, even in qualification.
But that's
Why
my
would you be
point.
listening to? You be listening
That's
to.
the point I'm making. That's the point. I can't
But
say.
why would he be doing that and not complaining at all?
No, that's what I'm saying. I can't say, right, what the conversation was with Speed and McLaren. I know Speed coming as an advisor, and the president allowed that. Speed cannot come in and say he's going to be advisor. The president never agreed to it, or the board never agreed to it. So somewhere along the line, something is right. Some along the line, something not right. You get me? Wherein one man can decide that he's the chairman of the technical committee, and then he's gonna listen to me.
I've been no leadership not there. No leadership not there.
Listen to me. Speed hired Fuzzy as a head coach because Speed thought he was going to the World Cup. You must come to and tell me nothing about so.
Charlie, Vince says Speed hire Fuzzy as the coach because all of them think them was going to the World Cup.
I give you a bigger joke.
Yeah.
You know how many Jamaicans I know who were on the verge of buying tickets for the World Cup?
Of course.
A lot.
Charlie, I'm here in Canada. When the
I mean,
gears came out,
me and you always by with Josie, you know.
It's when the gears came out, just to show you how Jamaica had built such a huge brand. And Jamaica football, I don't think we talk about Jamaica. Jamaica football had built such a huge brand. And there was so much expectation that Jamaica would be here because the football are playing our yard now. Right? Canada, Jersey, everybody here must have a Jamaica jersey right now, expecting that Jamaica would have been at the World Cup.
You know the Jamaican says soup.
Yeah.
This is soup because when they saw the last zone draw, everybody thought we were going to the World Cup. And to add salt to the wound, the president came out and made a statement that this should be so easy for us to go to the World Cup.
Of course. He is right.
Yeah.
It should be so easy
so
for us.
Everybody was like celebrating. I had so many people calling me, asking me which site they can go on to buy tickets. I'm just hoping that a lot of them didn't go ahead and buy the ticket. But at least they'll still get to see a World Cup game, huh?
Yeah. Listen, I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the fans that came on, and your questions, and whether it is politics or is speed is the problem, whatever the problem is, we have a problem to fix. Right?
We need to reset.
Problem.
We need to reset.
I know my producer said we need to be talking about women's football, but I want to bring you guys back to talk about women's football maybe next week, Monday, because I think because when you both was coaching women's football, you never get no money, right? No money at all was given to women's football during that time.
Yeah,
but
it was
just
given
to see where it is today.
No, money went to women's football about out of our pockets. Vin can attest to that.
Hey, Charlie, I remember when you guys was asking for football, all of the money was going to the male football.
Yes.
Because everybody believe in the male football and have no belief in the female football at all.
I used to preach that if you give 10 to 15% of what you give to the men's program to the women's program,
you spoke about it. Yes.
We would have been to the World Cup several times. And it is happening now. Exactly. Now it's happening.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
When in the days, it's only 3 teams go through to the World Cup.
But you see, this is what happens when we don't work.
Right? I play off 2 times for the World Cup,
Everybody has their own dreams.
With Mexico. If it was then, if the format was then, we'd have gone to the World Cup several times.
Hold on, Vin. Charlie, wrapping up in point.
No, I'm just saying that we work too much as individuals and we have different directions going, and it makes absolutely no sense. And this is why the federation needs to come together.
Tonight.
We need to come together.
With a vision.
Yeah, we need to come together. We need to
nothing wrong with Jamaican youths. Nothing wrong with Jamaica's football. There's
an abundance of
talent. And skill. Every single coach. Every single coach who come to Jamaica talk about the amount of talent that is here. Every one of them. When they land the Jamaica side, they talk about how many talent is here.
One of my suggestions.
What are we doing with it? Who's driving it?
One of my suggestions.
That is the problem.
To go back to the under 21 program. Because
build from there.
These youngsters can play. Right? All these youngsters can play that come out of high school that are so good as far as they say. Right? Look at Dixon. right? Listen, come out and he got a cut. But look at Whisper, right? Those kids need to be playing constantly. In the beginning, you start under 21, double headers, under 21, then the Premier League
Yeah.
team. If a Premier League player got injured and was coming back, he'd play with the under 21 team for the time being and get back into
Yes.
the game.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
that
yeah.
development phase is not there anymore. Right now, you know what JFA is more concerned about now? Qualifying people to get their license.
Yeah.
It's a money thing. You get me? So you have 900 coaches that you say you qualify, and out of the 900 coaches, listen to this, the guys who are the coach educators, they are coach educator, the coaching club, the coaching school. They're taking 3 jobs away from coaches who you say you're certified, right? All into the same thing, right? So you're developing coaches, and I see the curriculum for the coaches, right? Doesn't make much. It doesn't. That's not it. Right now we have 4 years now in which we can look at if we're talking about senior team. We have 4 years in which we can now find a leader, get a good board. Because you must know the presidents of the as parish association have been constant for the past from I was there,
Yeah.
You get me? So there's no leadership change, right? And I don't know. I can't speak for it, but I don't know how cohesive they are, and I don't know how what parish the association presidents have to offer. I don't know. I've never been to the meeting. I know what the past meetings were like when Horace Reed was leading the conversation and president was leading the conversation. I know that. And all the parish president respected the captain. Even if they didn't respect him,
Yeah.
the captain take charge.
All right. So
Somebody has to be there to take charge.
we're gonna wrap up, Vin, because
Yes.
I hear some of my comments here. So who you going to elect for the next coach of the team?
I don't know. What you do is no. All you do is put out your. I tell you have hundreds of coaches who want to come in with
Yeah.
with good. With
What
good
you looking for?
qualifications.
What you looking for? What are
Huh?
you looking for?
Somebody
in a
who's
coach?
somebody who is willing to come to Jamaica, live here, not like what McCarran wasn't there,
Yes.
right? Stay in Jamaica, know to speak the language, understand the culture. Right? I'm going to tell you. Let me go back to I go to Rudy's country, right? When you go to Grenada, the other time when you have carnival, don't ask somebody for train, but you can get them to train. When I went there, the coach tell me the
Yep.
players won't train because it's carnival, and I said to him, "Bet you if I tell them they're going to Brazil to train for 1 week, they'll forget everything about carnival." It's how you approach, it's the leadership, how you approach
Mindset.
that make the
Yeah.
difference. Ask see Rudy,
Yeah.
him know,
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
know
So true. Yeah.
All right,
that's
Charlie.
him.
Give us your last thing, Charlie. Who you looking for in a coach? What kind of coach you looking for Jamaica? Is there anybody in Jamaica, by the way, that you think can fit that criteria that we spoke about this evening? Charlie?
Charlie, you can hear?
Like him
Looks like
gone.
Charlie not hearing us at all. Charlie, you can hear us?
No, not here, Charlie.
Charlie?
Charlie, you can hear?
You can hear us, Charlie?
I'm not hearing you. I'm not answering
Not
long
hearing
time.
us at all. Anyway, Rudy, what you think we need to do as your last word before we go?
Listen, I think there is talent all over, and I think just as how we see how Jamaica had a Jamaican coach, I think it's possible to have a Jamaican coach as well. I think it's just about finding the right mindset. Somebody got to have the hunger, got to really want it. We don't need to go outside to get coaches anymore. I think the talent is the coaching pool is there in Jamaica and across the Caribbean. And for countries to pick their own, but have that attitude of winning, that attitude of sportsmanship, that attitude of football first and not anything else. And I think the attitude that really changed people. I think people coming in with a different mindset, and they don't have a football mindset. They just have a mindset of being just the name. We see it in jobs. People just want the name. On the resume, I'm a manager, and that's what it is. But they don't want the hunger. You see, let's even go to the Olympics. You have look how many officials and stuff is going to the Olympics. How many athletes? So you gotta kind of change up that mindset that you want people who want to be there for football, and I think that's what we need for Jamaica and the Caribbean. I think we can do it. We just have to have the right attitude, put the right people in place, and forget about people on their resume. Just good interview and read people. So you don't just take people because of what somebody say. You gotta read people mind. You gotta know what people want, and I think that can be done. But it starts with management because management trickle down, and once you can do that, I think football in the Caribbean could be successful, but they have to have that attitude of the winning attitude or football attitude or team attitude.
Charlie, are you hearing us? No,
You're not
Charlie.
hearing.
Charlie not hearing at all, at
Yeah,
all. Oh
Charlie
my
not
God.
here.
Rudy, I wonder if Charlie hearing you or you not hearing anybody at all.
No, you're not hearing.
Charlie, you can hear me? Charlie not hearing
No,
anything.
no, not
Charlie not
hearing.
hearing it. I don't know what's wrong with Charlie thing at all.
Yeah,
But
Charlie
anyway,
not hearing
listen,
anything.
I appreciate you coming and talking to us for
Yeah,
more
man.
than an hour even this evening. We could sit down here and talk about it all day long, but at the end of the day, what we need in football in Jamaica and in the English speaking Caribbean is to have that person with the philosophy and the mindset and the attitude and the drive to drive our football careers in this side of the world. Because I think we have all of the things. I don't think it's a money shortage thing anymore. I don't think it's a talent thing anymore. I think it's the attitude, of the individuals and leadership. We have to have good leadership
Yes.
for the football. Without good
But,
leadership,
but,
the
but
football
Richie,
will die.
before you finish, Vino said something in having that under 21, and I think that is very, very important
Mm-hmm.
because players can go up and down. You got kids
Yes.
coming from the high school who they finish high school at a very young age. We've seen it
Mm-hmm.
across the Caribbean. By
Yes.
17, they finish high school 18.
Right.
So you're having that under 21 program that can build. You have to
Yes.
start somewhere. You have your
Yes.
Premier League, you have your under 23. Even if you go on under 15, that's also helpful because you got players rising. And then you
Yes.
start with the women's program. And I think so. This is certainly a really good option
Mm-hmm.
that can build your program
Mm-hmm.
and lead somewhere, which I really hope other people in the Caribbean could really take that advice.
And
You
let me
know?
tell you this. Let me tell you this really. 1 second, Richard. I'm gonna end up with this. I agree with everything that Woody said before. The resume, this all that, and good thing. But I'm saying there's money from CONCACAF that goes to outside of what FIFA gives.
Yes.
There's money from CONCACAF that they can use to develop this under 21 program. Give the parish association,
Okay.
each club, you give a money for each club to fund their under 21 program. It's something that happened in the early, and a lot of players came out of that league. A lot of players come out of that under 21 that play for the
Yeah.
national team. A lot of players.
Yeah.
So we need, as I say, I'm agree with you, Woody, that the system is if you put an ad in the paper on YouTube or on Facebook or in place right now about the Jamaica looking for a coach, Jamaica would not their email would have blow up. The number of people who are willing to come and coach Jamaica team,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you go through the process. You do a
Yeah.
good interview with them. You go to, and you can't use the
Yeah.
chairman of the technical committee who wants the
No.
job.
Sometimes,
Charlie,
if still, sometimes still selecting a coach
wait, Charlie,
right now
jump
in
in.
Jamaica. Yeah, Charlie, give me 1 second. Selecting a coach right now in Jamaica. You might have to be an outsider. An outside
Yes,
person might have to come and select a coach, not an inside
yes.
person.
Let
Yeah,
them stay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Unless you have a president or a board, let me not kill the president too much because I know
yeah, yeah.
he's passionate about wanting us to succeed. Right, I know that. But in wanting us to succeed, you have to understand that you have to have this is where you are. You must have something focused with directly on what you want. You must know what you want, right? But it can't be that the same person is involved in everything. the chairman of the technical committee, the advisor, the president.
Separate responsibilities.
No, it can't be.
Charlie,
Can't be.
Yes, sir.
Who you want to see as a coach? Do you see that person?
I'm not even looking there right now. And by the way, the first time I'm hearing the Vin, I'm hearing everybody now. I came out and came back, and it feels good, eh? But I'm not interested in a coach right now.
You win tonight, you beat up Charlie tonight.
Yeah. I'm not interested in a coach right now.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see a program taking our football forward the right way.
Yes.
Right.
And what Vin just spoke about is CONCACAF, the money supporting the under-20s. And I want to see the under-17s being supported. And Jamaica needs to get out of this mentality about professionals at 20 and 25. Professionals around the world start at 16, 17.
Yes.
So we need to start supporting those programs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? But I want a program before I talk about a coach.
Yes.
Because as I said before, bring the coach here now and you don't have a program, we're not going anywhere. We're going to repeat the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah, and you need a system set up first.
I want
something
a system.
in place. Yeah,
and
a system.
I want them to really microscope the whole thing and start to put the mental aspect in. We want to teach coaches.
We should have just fired
because Charlie,
the president.
Support who?
Let's start afresh.
So let's fire everybody.
If that is the answer, we start afresh.
Yeah,
if the
but
answer
Charlie,
is the president is going to find a way to do it, that is the answer. If not, fire everybody and we start afresh. It's not about the personal there. It's about getting that philosophy together and we're moving forward in the right direction.
No, but Charlie, you said something really clearly there, and a part of it too. You bring me back to when I listened to Michael Jordan when he talking to something when Phil Jackson, went to Dennis Rodman and he said, "Can you play in the system? Can you play in this system?"
Yes.
And he said, yeah. So and this is what it is. You want to have a system where you bring in somebody said, "Can you work in this system? Can you follow this system?" Because if you cannot get somebody and the minute they start going outside the system, you got to draw them back in. That's what I'm saying. And I think that's really what it is too, because the minute you lead somebody outside, they get too far out of the system, you can't pull them back in. It's too much to pull them back in. And I think that's a problem right now. Yeah.
Two guys that we could pay a lot of attention to right now as coaches is Pat Riley and the same one that he said Michael went to. What's his name again? The coach?
Yeah, Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson. If you listen to audios on these guys, great philosophies, fantastic,
great philosophy. Yeah. Okay, they had a philosophy.
Before we go, Vin, the women going to make it through.
They look that way.
That way.
Yeah, man.
Charlie.
Yeah. They look that way.
I'm banking on them going back through because they have two World Cup back-to-back experience with a core of players who have been there. So that experience they have it, and the confidence level is up. And I think once the coach can get the squad together and knit them properly together, we'll go back there. It's a new coach, and sometimes I question what he's doing, but I'm hoping that he has enough experience to tie it together and to get us back there. Because if he doesn't, it will be a disappointment.
We should take all of their Adidas sponsorship and put behind the women right now, because they're going nowhere.
Yes.
And listen, I want to be things too. We have to know that even within the Caribbean, football have really expanded. It's no longer the little box we used to be in, right? Because you have your under 20, you have your under 17, you have your under 19. So you have so many different things where there's opportunities for young footballers to grow, to grow. We seem like we are building one set of thing, and then when we get there, they just drop and there's nothing. But we got to have that system. Once you have this, listen, I'm in Canada, and we see kids before they could walk, they kick in football.
Yeah.
They have a hockey stick in their hand. You know what I mean? So we have to start from that age. I know we talk about the under 17, but maybe we should start from the under 9. Maybe we should go way back and start the kids from a little young age. If football want to grow and have it expand in little leagues and doing those things in little leagues.
Funny you should say that. I was in Italy once and I was dragged to a game under 8, which I didn't want to go to. But they told me I had to go because the people I was staying with, their nephew was playing in the league.
Yes.
And they played on a full-size field. And if you saw the space management from under 8 players, the quality of play, everything was just superb. And this is what we need to grasp. This is what Jamaica needs to look at and look at where we need to start. These kids are maybe playing from about 5 or 6.
Yep.
That's where it needs to be. So thank you
Yes.
very much. Thank you very much, Vin and Charlie. It was really, eye opening, and I see our fans. They have a whole lot to say, and they like the discussion. As a matter of fact, I must tell you, you might see some of the things, some of the graphics coming up on the screen, and we need to keep this conversation going, because I don't think it is going to take one set of conversation for us to let the football powers, or let the football business in Jamaica just die natural death, because that's where it is leading to at this moment. We need to keep talking about it. I don't want to take fans for granted at all, because we are not supposed to be taken for granted. Fans is the backbone of the thing, right?
Yeah.
So as we close this evening, I want to really just tell you how much I appreciate the work that you guys have done in the past, because you said the women are going to go there another time again, and it is because of the work that you guys had put into it. Whether or not anybody wants to tell you yes or no, you guys started all of that kind of a thing. Whatever is happening right now, if that foundation was never laid by both of you, the women could not be where they are, going back repeatedly to the World Cup. So I want to see that for the men. So it means that we need to have fundamental and people who is seriously thinking about the football and the football and the football and the football alone, and not anything else, because money is not going to get us there. So, but I want to applaud you for coming and talking to us this evening, candidly as it is. We're not even have to look at individual players or whatever, because I don't think that it is talent that is a problem. I don't think that it's even money right now is a problem. I think that is just us. Leadership is a major problem. But sports club fans and family want to appreciate Rudy. I know you want to sleep long time, and we all want to sleep.
No, man, we good, man.
Nice.
No, man, we good, man. Listen, this is certainly do like we had a hiccup.
Nice. It's
We
good,
did have we did have a hiccup in the beginning that we had to
Yeah.
set back for about an hour, which is okay.
Yeah.
Certainly, and the fans didn't leave us. They certainly stayed
Yeah.
on. So that showed you what it is. But gentlemen, I certainly do want to thank you guys. It's such a pleasure to meeting you guys. Vin, I heard about you. It's so good to put a face to it, but I really did heard about you.
Yes.
Michael Bascom and myself, we have a show on Saturday. We spoke about you. So certainly, and the president that was there at the time, I know him very well as well. So certainly, man, it's such a good. But we want to see football grow in the Caribbean.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
we come too far. We have seen in the early days. I mean, I was young, but in the 80s and going back in the 70s, I wasn't even born yet. But I've heard of good football.
Yeah.
I've heard of good players in the Caribbean. I remember the time when they talk about how Grenada was one of the best in the OECS, and
Yeah.
and playing against all the big teams in the Caribbean. You know, but where are we now? You know what I mean? We talk about look how long it takes before a Caribbean team was last in the world in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like what like so sometimes it burned us to see that going back to cricket. We see how good we was at one point, and then look at where we at today. So a lot of the sport that we had before is just like going almost feel like it going downhill, and we are fighting to catch it back up. Go the same thing back with Usain Bolt. After Bolt, we thought the cover was empty because there was no men doing nothing in the Caribbean after Bolt. And all of a sudden, you start seeing the growth that coming back. So
It
football
is there.
is certainly one of them. I really think it can come back, but it need that leadership. We got to have people in the offices who have the drive for the game and who's serious and who thinking of the game first and not them own self or their pocket or their name. Think of the game first and have that attitude that you're coming in that you want that. And I think once you do that, certainly, and like again, you have to make people accountability. They're coming in that system. If they cannot work in that system, I'm sorry, this is not for you. As good as you are, as this as you are, you can. This system is not for you because Jamaica have to build a system, and coaches have to come in and say, "This is what it is. Can you work in the system? If not, then
Yes.
I'm sorry." And if you don't have
No.
that, then that's what it is. They got to set the foundation, and it's a foundation, not allowing people to come and change it based on who they are. No, who they are don't make you win. We've seen good coaches. We heard of good coaches come in the Caribbean. And what did they do? Nothing. because they come
All
in
right.
with that different type of mindset. So certainly, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having us.
Sports Globe fan, we appreciate you a whole lot, and certainly we're going to share this even more. But join us next Monday again for another Sports Pulse Monday live here. We're going to try and make it even better and more spicier for you. You never know what will happen in the Caribbean. Caribbean sports is always having drama. We always having excitement. We always having vibes. We always having everything. So join us again next Monday for another Sports Pulse Monday live. Vin and Charlie, it was exciting. It was excellent. It was a wonderful discussion. And I see the fans. Even though they still can't even stop talking, they're still, chiming in even now. But hey, listen, we need leadership for everything that we do.
Leadership.
And as God is as God is our leader all the time, we need to believe in leadership. And once
Appreciate
we
it.
have good leadership, we'll have good everything, and success will always be on our table. Thank you very much again, and have a fabulous evening, and we appreciate it a whole lot. Fans, listen, keep sending in your comments and your thing, man. Don't stop, because the discussion continues. Jamaica needs to go to the World Cup, and we have to get them there somewhere or the other at some point or the other.
Thanks for having us. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Have
Have a good night.
Stay safe.
Take
God
good care.
All right.
bless.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.